The commander who destroyed Jericho wasn't human. He was hunting the last of the giants. Some say he's an angel, but angel's not a species. It's a job description. He didn't look like this. Outside of Jericho, Joshua is confronted by a being with a drawn sword claiming to be the commander of the Lord's army. So who or what is this guy? I put 6 major theories to the test. When the Jericho story begins, the giants were making a post-flood comeback in Canaan. And that could be a clue in itself. To beat a supernatural threat, it makes sense that it would take a hero that's more than human. I put all 6 possibilities from scholars and researchers on the board. The one with the least amount of support is a fringe theory that we're gonna vet. Ancient astronaut theorists wonder, is this an alien showing up to manage us, their human colony, and make sure that we survive? Because the giants would certainly be a threat to our survival. But elsewhere in the Bible, the story implies that this mystery character is not from the physical realm. He's a spirit. He can take on a body, but he's really not from a physical plane. And that leaves us with 5 possibilities. People have speculated that he's some kind of high-ranking angel or archangel, some spirit who appeared as a divine warrior. Over the centuries, rabbis and scholars have repeatedly named 2 possibilities. The deeper lore involves a favorite angel of the later rabbis, Metatron. Sounds like a Transformers movie. Metatron was associated with the protection of humanity. So, since Joshua was facing an existential threat, you can see why people would have guessed Metatron. But there is another angel mentioned. It's Michael. He was thought to be the angel that God assigned to watch over Israel after Babel. He's their protector, and you see that in the book of Daniel. So on the surface, Metatron and Michael seem like sensible options. The final 3 options might shock you, but most biblical scholars think he was one of the following: Jesus Christ appearing before he was born, or 2, a nameless angel called the Angel of the Lord, who appeared all over the Old Testament, to Moses, to Abraham, and the prophets. Or, theory number 1, the biggest one of all, God himself appearing as a man to lead the Israelites in battle.
The walls are weak.
There's one thing in this story that he said to Joshua that completely gives his identity away. Joshua had already been through war. He shouldn't get rattled easily, but he was rattled by this visitor. Our mystery figure said to Joshua, "Take off your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." He knew these words. He recognized them, and he knew exactly who had said them the first time. And it was no mere angel. This is a hyperlink to another story, and it's the only way to solve this puzzle. Years earlier, Moses was out in the middle of nowhere. He saw something that was not from our world either. It was God. So when God appeared to Moses, he said to him the same words: "Take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground." Those are the exact same words the commander with the drawn sword said to Joshua. At this point in our investigation, I was wondering, was it God who appeared to Joshua outside of Jericho as a warrior? It would be odd for an angel to say this himself, implying that he's holy. The being that said this was described as looking like a man. So does God have some kind of human form that he was taking all the way back in the Old Testament? We learned in our last video that according to an Arab tradition, Jericho was known as the City of Giants. So did God actually come down himself to lead humans in the war against them. I found some more clues in the Mystery Warrior's battle plan. How do you siege a city of giants? The key to understanding the story and the warrior's identity is the Ark of the Covenant. This thing is a weapon, but not the kind of weapon you see in Indiana Jones. The Ark is a psychological and spiritual weapon. In the ancient Near East, a box of this shape was a specific piece of furniture. Okay, look at this thing. If you were to guess, what kind of furniture do you think this would be? It's kind of hard to tell in some of these depictions because of the way the wings are. There's nowhere to put your feet. But this is a footstool. In this one by National Geographic, you could actually put your feet there in between the angels, and it would look like the angels are bowing at your feet. So God rests his feet there and the angels are worshiping him. So if God doesn't have a body, then why does he need a footstool? What if sometimes he does have a body, or appears with one briefly? There's a reason the Israelites carried God's footstool around Jericho. There's precedent for using a footstool of a throne in war for intimidation. Look at this footstool from King Tut's tomb. These carved figures are the 9 bows, the enemies of Egypt. Every time the king sits down, he rests his feet on their necks. The Ark of the Covenant sent a similar message. If the footstool of God is here in Jericho, well, the throne can't be far behind. And if the throne is here, well, that means God himself might be here. When the giants saw the ark being carried around the walls of the city, they would have been very nervous. A huge key to this story is the giants are not supposed to be in this land at all. You've heard it said that God chose Israel. When he did that, he actually drew boundaries around the land. So if you take the supernatural view that the giants are the children of the rebel angels, the angels were assigned over various nations. They have their own land to watch over. Why would the children of the rebel angels go back to the one nation that they're not supposed to be in? Maybe the giants declared war on God. They've moved into his territory, they started building a fortress, they're attacking humans, his people. So God showed up and told Joshua, "Why don't you take the footstool to my throne, to their big fortress, and parade it around the city? Let them know the boss is coming to town, personally. He wants his land back." This wasn't a parade. It was a ritual of territorial annexation. He was placing the physical throne of God around the border of the giant stronghold, saying, "The king is physically here, and he's putting his feet on your neck." Most scholars think the commander is the angel of the Lord, but some also think the angel of the Lord is also God himself, appearing as a man, a form of God. Fewer still think the angel of the Lord was Jesus. 2 things, maybe 3, can be true at once. One thing seems fairly certain. The being who took back Jericho seems to be a member of the Trinity. But he didn't stop there. He led the Israelites to every battle through the conquest of Canaan. And that's the key realization here. This isn't really a war over land. It's a war for the human race. God's not just going around telling Israel to conquer everybody who doesn't believe what they do. He's actually defending them from a spiritual and supernatural threat. So we trace that threat, the spread of the giants, and the angels' moves throughout the conquest of Canaan on this channel. So watch this video to find out more.